Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Arrows Up podcast. This is German coming to you on Wednesday. This is a Wednesday edition of the pod. I have David here with me, and David, we had a Ryan Garcia fight on Saturday. The return of, is he still king? Is it Prince? Is it
I believe
Nobleman?
it's Super Rye.
Super Rye.
Yeah.
It's not Brother Rye. I know he's
I-
like super religious now, but
Bruh.
Bishop.
As long as it's not like Saint Rye, I'm cool with that. Super Rye, like
El Apóstol, El Apóstol.
Yeah.
So Ryan
But
Garcia,
he needs to figure that out. He needs to figure that out.
he needs to figure it out. So Super Rye or Ryan Garcia, whatever his nickname is now, I guess he'll let us know what it is. But he fought on Saturday. What did you think? What did you think of the fight? How did he look to you? Were you impressed? Are you back? Did he convince you?
I mean, I can't say I was back because I was never really there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, he looks solid.
Yeah.
Duarte, like I think you mentioned it, like in the other little recap you did, but solid fighter. He looked strong. He looked like power puncher. But I feel like most of these guys, they're just kind of tailor made for Ryan. If they're not like elite caliber guys, he's just got the God given ability to deal with them, and so we want to see that upper echelon of fighters with Ryan, and obviously we got a taste of that with Tank, and it didn't go well for Ryan. But I mean, I would like to see like the improvement and whatnot. So fighting guys like this, we're not gonna find out. He could go 10 for 10 fighting guys like this. He'll look great. He'll look fast, powerful. Wouldn't require much like IQ to figure them out because a lot of these guys they're either power puncher guys but don't have like elite power, or they're slick boxers and they don't have enough power to keep someone off, and so they're just kind of jumping on their bike. So solid showing, but I mean we saw a lot of this Ryan before, like anyone before Tank, like all those guys. This is what we saw with Ryan. So now the question is, what does he do after this? Who does he go after? Who wants to fight him? And so I mean,
it was. I don't know if he looked good. Like he won, he got a knockout. Are we sure he looked good?
He looked like same old.
Yeah.
Just like a different, like
More tattoos.
I mean, that too. But okay, you ever have those like LaCroix, like the the bubbly waters, like
Yeah.
Have you ever had one of those and like it says the flavor on the outside and it's like I used to get excited. I used to be like, oh, it's strawberry. Cool. Let me, and then you open it up and it's like, oh, it's not really like it kind of has like the essence of strawberry. Like it's kind of like a strawberry like farted in the vicinity of the water, and it's like, oh, it has like strawberry, like so with Ryan, it's the same Ryan, but he's just got essence of Derek James, like just a little bit of Derek James, just how he had a little bit of Joe Goosen, how he had a little bit of editing also. It's still the same guy. I think I saw a tweet. I mentioned this, but I saw a tweet where it's like, and it's funny because you want to do a pod about this, but you were like, people were like, dude, it's not the trainer, it's the fighter. Like Ryan is the issue. You can give him 10 different trainers, and it's like he's he looks the same. Yeah. So you did say he looked a little more patient,
we should do a pod about that, but
no, we should, because it'd be a nice little deep dive. But yeah, I mean it's the same Ryan, just
he did look a little patient. He did. Um, I just can't get over the fact that he just drops his hands. And I
Uh,
mentioned this in the pod I did on Monday. I just I just can't get over it. I just don't understand how you are a fighter at this level. Because there's no such thing as a perfect fighter, because there's no such thing as a perfect person. So every fighter has their weakness. And to me, I don't know how Ryan could ever be an elite of the elite guy when his weakness is that one. And it's what I was telling, I was messaging Sam on Saturday after the fight, and I was like, man, he drops his hands still. I don't understand. Like, keep your hands up.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he what I did realize on Saturday though, he's not as likable as he once was though with the fans,
Oh,
because Duarte had a lot of support in that crowd. That was a Ryan Garcia headlining. He's the main event. He's the big draw. And he was booed when he came out. He was um during the fight, people were chanting Duarte's name. So this wasn't a pro Ryan Garcia crowd by any means.
right,
And
right.
so that did stand out. And I wanted to talk to you about that, because the big appeal for Ryan Garcia was the fact that everybody knew who he was. Um, Now I don't think Ryan Garcia is at the level, and in terms of talent, in terms of champion cachet, to be able to pull off the you're gonna tune in because you want people to beat me, like Mayweather, like McGregor. John Jones had some of this. Even Ronda Rousey in the UFC, like she had some of that. Um, where people were paying to, hopefully they wanted to see them lose.
Even Canelo at this point, man,
And
starting to feel like
Canelo,
that.
Canelo has that.
Yeah,
Um, I
the
just
haters
don't.
always come out in droves, you know.
Yeah, I just don't think the hate for Garcia is like that. I think the hate for him is more, dude, we're tired of you, we're sick of you, we're not going to watch you. So that was very interesting to hear him get booed, because we had just seen a few, the week before or whatever. Benavides was the main event, and he was getting cheered the whole night. So it was interesting to see that difference between two fighters that are not the two most popular fighters. They're fairly popular, but just to see that difference, the big difference in how the crowd was reacting to them.
Yeah, I think it's evident that the verdict is kind of out on Ryan ever since that Tank fight. Like it's just some of that. I don't want to say fake hype, but like, because I mean, obviously, like, I mean, hype is hype, but like some of that, like, superficial, like that puppy love hype,
Mm-hmm.
it's gone after that fight with Tank. And so I think he's still gonna have supporters. He's still gonna have people that tune in, but I think there are a lot of people that were deceived, and like they really thought. I mean, even you, like you picked him to win, you know. So I'm saying, like, people, like, they were really riding that wave of him being the guy, and then once Tank took care of business, it was like, dang, maybe this guy isn't who we thought he was, and it's just so. Obviously, you couple that with the like the Duarte is from Mexico kind of vibe, and then Ryan is like, born over here, but likes to say he's Mexican. So it's kind of like it's like a little mini version of that, like Chavez de la Hoya kind of vibe,
Mm,
And I feel like people really gravitate towards those themes, especially in boxing.
yeah.
So because even my dad, dude, my dad was like, he was rooting for Duarte. He was like, dude, I think he's gonna beat Ryan, blah blah. And I was like, was like, I don't know about that. I think Ryan's still gonna win, but I don't think it'll matter if he wins because it's Duarte, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, and then with Benavidez, I'm glad you brought up Benavidez. Like Benavidez is reaching a point where like he is fighting those guys in his division that are kind of like in his so like obviously fighting Plant is a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of Boo Boo,
Yeah.
you know, and and he's winning in pretty like in good fashion. Like he's putting on good fights,
Right.
and people like that. People respect that. People like the clear cut victory, and when you and again like those are in his division. Those are like top guys. Those are the guys that people want to see him fight. So the
Yeah.
fact that he's taking on those guys and beating them in that fashion, like it just looks good. And people, especially with Mexican fans, are just like, "Oh, you say you're going to knock him out. You stopped him in the sixth round. Dang, you look dominant." People really like that stuff. And so, yeah, but with Ryan, like, yeah, I mean, he's beating guys like that, but not the top guys. So it's like, well, I mean, can you do that to, a Delfimo Lopez? You can do that to Regis. Can you do that to Haney? And that's what people want to see. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting um it's an interesting fight. It was an interesting fight because Ryan went in there needing a win, but also needing a almost like a very dominant win, right?
yeah,
had he won on points, it would have been
it'd have been like, oh, dude, like really? You like,
yeah, it would have been alarming. But he wins the knockout. Um, I just I can't put my finger on it, but I just don't think he looked as good. To me, he looked worse than before. And I get what you're saying. It was typical Ryan, but to me, typical Ryan will like there's flashes of like someone special, or there's even in the
yeah,
beginning of the tank fight where he comes out, and at first you're like, oh man, like is he gonna like
overwhelm him totally?
yeah, because in the beginning you're like, oh dude, like he is bigger.
Yeah,
And then obviously, the fight turned out to be what it turned out to be. But
yeah.
in this fight, it just was very it was like a vanilla type of performance. It was very bland. There was nothing special about what he did. There was nothing that made me think, okay,
Dang, he's back on the right track. Like,
yeah, it was just
yeah,
oh, well, he won, so cool.
yeah.
Um and I can't get that. I can't like I've seen that. I've rewatched the fight again, and I'm left feeling bland about his performance. It just wasn't to me. It wasn't this comeback that we expected. And maybe this is where we give the credit to Duarte, because Duarte is a good fighter.
Yeah,
he's not like,
he's not a slouch. Yeah,
yeah. So, he was a tougher fight for Ryan than, had he fought a guy just for a regular tune-up fight. So from that standpoint, maybe Ryan should get some respect and some credit for that. But I don't know.
Is
It's weird.
Duarte like? Is he? Because we mentioned my brother mentioned this guy yesterday, but remember there was a time when Ryan hadn't fought in a while, and he had there's like when he had like the mental health problems, and he was supposed to fight Jojo Diaz.
Yes, I
Is
remember that.
is Duarte that kind of a guy? Like just like kind of blue collar tough? Is that the analogy
Yeah.
I'm seeing here? Okay, okay,
Yes.
all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean we could give him some credit, but I mean,
And Jojo has more skill than Duarte.
okay, yeah. But just like I'm thinking, just like the tenacity and the style, like that's there, like right. That's
Right.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you could give Duarte some credit, um, but as time passes, I mean, with at least with these young bucks, you expect
Mhm.
them to improve over time, right? Like if you see a something, a 20, 21, 22 year old, pro fighter or prospect, and you watch them as they go on in their career, you expect improvement. Oh, he's doing this now. We saw with
Right.
Canelo, right? When he didn't know how to cut off the ring, right? Stuff like that. And then now to see him now, like his head movement, his waist movement, the way he studies fighters first. You've seen that happen over years. And so with Ryan, like you said, we've seen this Ryan before. And so
Hmm.
we're getting to a point where it's like, well, we want to start seeing improvements. We want to start seeing that you've been putting in the work intellectually to
Yeah.
develop as a fighter. And I don't know. Maybe it's because he's like I mean, obviously being with Joe Goosen was kind of like he never really looked all that different. Maybe with Derek James he'll be a little bit different. And so I mean,
Hmm.
but yeah, I know I agree. Like it's starting to get old. The way he looks in his fight's starting to get old because we've seen it. We've
Yeah.
seen it for years since he was like 19. How old is he now? 24,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, man. So
What do you
it,
think Canelo's biggest weaknesses as a boxer?
Canelo's biggest weakness.
Yeah.
Hmm,
What's his flaw?
gosh.
His conditioning, maybe?
Yeah, he does have a little bit of a slump sometimes.
Yeah.
But
He's
with
not,
Canelo, I feel like you need to have the right amount of boxing skill and power to keep him off.
of course.
There
But
needs to be like a because obviously like I think if Caleb Plant has a little more power, like man, that's a tough fight for Canelo if they were to rematch and if he were to find like the Space Jam like Michael Jordan secret juice for power.
yeah,
Because that guy has skills. Same thing with like a
right.
Saunders. Those guys have skills, but they're lacking in that. So yeah, Canelo's a rare breed where it's like you need to have that perfect ratio.
Yeah. Because
Um,
then,
and the conditioning too, because even like I think like in the first Triple G fight, in some of those middle rounds, he looked like gassed,
yeah.
like bad.
Um,
Where you're like, yo, is this dude fading in the middle of the fight? And then he
right.
finds his second win. But yeah, maybe conditioning.
What is, because Joshua's flaw is heart. He doesn't have the heart.
Yeah, Joshua. I don't know. I feel like he just doesn't know
Um,
how to pull the trigger sometimes and just let the hands go.
Wilder's biggest flaw is
Boxing in general,
he
like
has
skills.
no boxing skills.
Yeah, no skills. Yeah,
Um,
Fury. I think
Fear,
it's his ego. I think it's his ego.
yeah, discipline, ego, all of it.
Yeah,
Um, and then with Haney, his biggest flaw is probably that he doesn't have enough power.
yeah,
Um, with Shakur, his flaw is it's probably mental at this moment
yeah. I would say maybe like not
because
boxing wise
he
as a
has
weakness, but
boxing
like his
skills, but
I would say with him it's kind of like his ego too a little bit. Again, not as a fighter, but just like
right,
the way he handles himself outside the ring. Sometimes it's like, dude, like, what do you? Why are you saying that? Like, just we
yeah,
know you're good, bro. Calm down.
right.
Like,
Um, and the reason why I'm asking this is because that we, if you notice, there is a difference. Mayweather's biggest flaw was his hands. His hands got weak, and that was his flaw.
yeah,
Pacquiao's flaw was uh man, what was his flaw?
just
His
didn't know when to
defense
retire.
was defense because he got hit. You
Yeah,
could
yeah, he
hit
did get hit. Yeah,
Pacquiao. Um, but you go down this line and you see that the guys with fatal flaws, the Wilders, the AJs, the um Ryan Garcia's, even Adrian Broner, his lack of discipline. these guys don't make it because the flaws that they have are so big that it's impossible to mask them with something else.
Yeah.
And I think this is why I don't believe the Ryan will ever be the guy that Sammy thinks he's going to be. Because I just don't know what Ryan Garcia is going to develop to hide.
To mask it. Like, what are they? Yeah.
Because Mayweather masked his his wrist with amazing defense.
Yeah, IQ.
And Canelo has masked his lack of conditioning with incredible skill and counterpunching. Pacquiao masked his lack of defense with
blazing fast offense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 36 rounds of training. That's crazy. Yeah.
So you see that. You see this like, and even Fury who is ego and he's not disciplined at all, but he has masked that with being super smart in the ring and just knows how to use his body. He knows how to just put it on you. You're going to carry him for 12 rounds. He's just going to tire you out. And amazing boxing skill as well. I just don't know what he's going to do to mask his deficiencies in the ring. I just don't see a roadmap where he develops something. Because if you want to say, okay, well, he's young enough, and on the fight, he was trying to do like a version of the shoulder roll. He was trying to do that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to develop into this defensive boxer, you kind of can't leave your hands down.
Yeah.
And maybe this is the way he fights. Maybe it's all those like speed test videos that he took that he just thinks he's just gonna unload on dudes, but he just doesn't put his hands up. And it's why Duarte was able to hit him a few times and hit him good, because he just doesn't put his hands up. Yeah.
With Ryan, I kind of feel like it's like okay, so all the guys we mentioned have like a major flaw.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like Ryan is like a combo of two, because it's like, and they kind of go hand in hand, but like the skills, even like the fundamentals, keeping your hands up, right? Footwork, listening to your trainer in your corner, like just
yeah.
But then even going back to the Canelo days, when Canelo would be like, dude, we couldn't get this guy to train sometimes, like he didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's a skills issue and a discipline issue, it's like, with all the other guys, like you said, they had to develop other things to mask those, and it's like, I mean, okay, let's say Ryan was super dedicated, but just wasn't like skills wise there. You would still have something like a Pacquiao where it's like, dude, his work ethic was insane. That he, if obviously he would get hit, but he would hit back so many times with his offense that it's just, how could you knock him out? How could you beat Pacquiao?
Yeah.
But if you don't have skills and discipline, then it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you gotta have something to lean on if you're lacking in a certain department. And so, yeah, the discipline thing, and that I think that's the one that worries me the most, because even if he was super disciplined, he would still have that super quick, like that hook, that power, and it would just be a matter of getting his skills up. But I don't know. I think it's too early to tell with Derek Daly with a new trainer, and it's like, how is he going to be 2-3 fights from now with his work ethic?
Right.
And so, yeah, not a good combo of deficiencies.
It's not great, Bob. It's not great.
Yeah.
But he did win. So we'll come back to Ryan, but let's What do you think of the fight that's coming up this weekend? We have Devin Haney, we have Regis. What do you think of the fight? It's at 140, Ryan Garcia's division, which is now probably the most overcrowded division in boxing. It used to be 135, and
Yeah,
it's probably
RIP to
equally
135.
crowded.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody's gonna jump ship to 140 now. Um,
I think it's gonna be a good fight. I'm
I
I'm
think so too.
I'm excited to see if Haney, like, if he'll just if he'll look better. Because I mean, at 135, like, man, he would look like straight off like a Michael Jackson's Thriller video shoot. Like, just
Yeah,
dang, you know.
yeah.
So hopefully at 140, it's like, I mean, he'll feel better. You know, maybe some more power, some more pop in his punches.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I that being said, I want to see how he can match up with like a legit 140 pound like contender, you know. And so I
With
still think he has the edge because of his skills. But
yeah,
if I had to give like a percentage, I would say like 60-40 in favor of Haney. But it's like it's not like lopsided, you know what I mean?
hmm
So yeah, and then after that, like, man, there's so many guys at 140 that, like, I mean, again, combo of guys from 135 that are moving up, and then guys that were already at 140.
yeah,
So I'm thinking like Delfimo Lopez, right?
yeah.
Um, who's the guy that Jack Catterall, is he still at 140? I think
Jack Catterall, yeah,
Jack Catterall, dude. Sandro Martin, he gave Delfimo some business.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then obviously like Ryan will be there. You know, all these guys. So it's like there's a nice little pool now of these guys at 140. So yeah,
Yeah, I like. So I think, yeah, I agree with you. Devin Haney, he has enough skill to win this fight, but Regis, I always struggle with his last name. Per Jace per
let's say Progre. I don't know. I mean, I think it's
Pergray.
like French. I don't know, something
Okay,
like that.
so we'll call him Reggie. We'll call him Regis.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll
Regis,
call
say
him
Regis.
Regis. Um, he's not a slouch, man. He's
Yeah,
29-1, 24 knockouts. He has the power to beat Haney.
yeah,
And I think that's the one thing that I'm looking at, because I think Haney has the skill, but we know Haney hasn't always displayed the power to keep someone off, and the power to kind of defend himself.
yeah.
Now, he's never fought a guy with the power of Regis. He hasn't fought a guy like that before. And Regis is 10 years older. He's 35. So I think it's going to be a really good fight. I I don't, if you've never seen any of these guys fight, I think this is a styles make fights, and I think Regis has enough boxing skill to get inside and land some punches. Um, and Haney obviously has the boxing skill to avoid and all that, and set up traps and stuff like that. I think it can be a very high level fight. Um,
Yeah.
if both of these guys are on their game. But it does set up the 140 division to be one of the best divisions in all of boxing,
Oh yeah.
because this maybe sets off just an entire new row of fights, because if Haney's going to be here at 140, what's going to keep him and Delfimo from fighting?
Oh yeah.
Um, or even going, fighting Josh Taylor, even though Josh Taylor's coming off of a loss, but
That's what I'm
or
saying, man. I
or
mean,
Jack
with
Catterall,
at 135, we were like, oh, the four. Now it's gonna be like, oh, there's six horsemen up here, dude. Like, there's so many guys. You know,
yeah,
it wasn't what's his name at 142. Josh Taylor beat him, and he was undefeated. He trained with Robert Garcia. You know what I'm talking about? Ramirez. Remember Ramirez?
Wait, Jose Ramirez is there. Yeah.
Dude, that guy, I mean, obviously, but still, like that's a live dude. Like that dude is not a slouch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
And this one only this division's only going to get deeper because Shakur Stevenson eventually is going to make his way
he's
over.
coming. Yeah.
Javante Davis maybe goes there. Although Javante Davis is hard because I just don't, it's hard to
He's
tell
small. He's a little dude.
Yeah, exactly. How far is he willing to push his body?
Yeah.
And so yeah, man, I'm excited for not just the fight on Saturday, but everything that could
Moving forward,
possibly
yeah.
be born off of that fight. Because I think we will have a very, hopefully very active 140-pound division with the junior welterweights.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully they'll be like I remember like a year or so ago we were talking about the guys at 135 and we were just saying like, man, these guys just need to fight each other. Like they just, because I get it. They want to be groomed to be the next big thing and all that stuff, which is great, but um I mean when I was talking to we were talking about like Ryan and Teofimo, because I don't know if you saw the report that Teofimo had turned down the fight with Ryan.
I did, yeah.
And he mentioned a dollar amount that he was given. I think it was like $1.5 million.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, sure, it's a lot of money, but if you put some perspective in it, like boxing wise, you're like, dude, Teofimo has most of the belts at 140, right? Or all of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's like, dude, he's the man.
Yeah.
He's got star power. He can knock dudes out. Like, so.
He's not starving for that fight.
Right. It's like, dude, he doesn't need it. Like, so if you're going to come at him with some number like that, it's like, no, next, like, bye. And it's like, Ryan, like, with all due respect, like, bro, who the heck are you to be giving out numbers like that? Like, or if it's Oscar and Golden Boy, I don't know, but it's like, come on, man, like, what have you done? So my dad would mention like the old school fighters, like the Barreras, the Marquezes, Morales, all those guys, and he would talk about how they were just willing to fight and the money wasn't an issue, right? Like, they would just say, do whatever you want to give me. Let's just make the fight happen. Let's fight, for glory, for pride, all this stuff. Which is great, but then guys end up broke too. So I see both sides of the coin, but it's like there has to be a middle ground where, like, if you guys are gonna fight, then let's fight for the sake of fighting, man, and just like see who's the best. And all the money talk, I know it's important, but it's kind of frustrating. Because obviously someone like Canelo can make calls like that, or even like now like a Crawford, because they're near the end of their careers, they've established their legacies.
Mm-hmm.
They've shown what they can do. They're solidified. They're
yeah.
I expect those guys to make those calls, and I'm cool with it because, like I said, they've earned it. But if you're this like young dude in your 20s, I'm like, bro, you should be fighting at least 3-4 times a year, and you should be fighting, the exciting fights. This is the time to be fighting the exciting fights. And so
yeah,
it's just so I'm hoping at 140, it's not going to be the same old from 135 where guys didn't want to fight each other and wanted to wait and all this stuff. So, because now, I mean, when we were talking about these guys, they were, 22, 23, 24. Now it's like, bro, now you're 26, 27. Like, I want to see you're entering your prime. I want to see that prime level competition and those prime level resumes, So hopefully there'll be a lot more movement at 140 than there was at 135.
Do you think though that that contract though, or that offer that was sent to Teofimo was a real offer? Because we've seen it in boxing where a team will offer a contract to a fighter knowing the fighter is going to say no, but
Right.
now that promotion can tell the fans, well, we tried making the fight, they said no, and it's like, okay, yeah, technically, but you didn't really make a real offer. And I wonder if that was one of those things.
That was the case, yeah.
Because there is no way Oscar really thought, or anybody, whoever's making decisions in Golden Boy, there's no way they really thought Delfimo was going to be like, oh yeah, for sure, sign me up.
$1.5 million, yeah, like,
because I think the one thing that came out also during the press conference for Ryan Garcia is it doesn't even sound like Golden Boy's convinced that Ryan is the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one, when I heard that, I'm like, I think this is a case of them just being like, oh, you know, we offered him a fight. He didn't want to fight it. He didn't want to take it.
Yeah.
To show Brian, hey, we're trying, or I don't know, but it was a weird. It was one of those, like, he was never going to say yes to that. You knew that. Everybody knew that. How real was that offer? Really?
Right.
So,
no, I hear you. Yeah. It was the same thing with, like, what's his name, the Benavidez' promoter.
Oh yeah.
When he was saying, "Oh, I've offered Canelo the biggest contract of his career," and it's like, bro, who are you to? Canelo comes to you with numbers, not the other way around. Like, you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know that?
Yeah. I'm like, so.
Who do you? What fight piques the most interest from you? Which fight gets you to drop everything and say, okay, this fight, how much
is this? Are we talking like fights that have already been announced, or?
No, 140? No. Yeah, 140.
Let's see.
Or let's take this a little further. Somebody makes you the Dana White of boxing, and now you have full control of boxing
over the fights.
Over the fights. What's the first fight you're making at 140?
Oh. Okay. Assuming that Haney beats Regis, which, again, like, it could not happen. I would want to see Haney and Teofimo just because of the bad blood they've had, and because I'm assuming they're about the same age. They're both in their 20s. They're young, right? I would want to see those two mix it up at 140.
Haney and Teofimo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Teofimo was like when he beat Loma, he was like, kind of the undisputed 135. Then he left, and he beat Taylor. And Haney, has been fighting guys. He's defended his belts at 135. So you kind of have, like, elements of undisputed with each of their names. Both high-level boxers.
Right.
Like I said, bad blood. Their dads are annoying as hell. I can't wait for those press conferences. It'd be like like watching McGregor argue with, like, Floyd Sr. Like that. Dude, that's free comedy. You know what I mean? So
right.
I would want to see those two mix it up at 140. That would be. But again, with all the guys at 140, I'm like, dude, any of these fights, I feel like any of them would be like that. They'd all be really entertaining, high level,
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I'll pick a different fight. I would probably make. Teofimo fight Jack Catterall.
Ooh. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because Catterall, like, you could argue, like, dude, he beat Taylor, like,
yes,
and so it's like he would be the true, like, yeah.
So I would make that fight, which clearly tells us both of us think Teofimo is the best guy in that division. which makes sense.
Right, right.
And I think this, I really hope we don't get robbed of that. I really hope we don't get robbed of how special this
This
division could
era
really
could
be.
be like this era could be special, man. You know?
Yeah, and I hope we don't get robbed of that. I hope that we're able to see these guys run through each other, and then go up, go to 147 if you want to.
Yeah.
Um, but at 140, I think this could be where probably most of these guys will settle just because of their size.
Yeah.
Ryan probably has the biggest opportunity to move up out of all these guys because he's just bigger, or even Shakur Stevenson as he
Yeah.
moves his way up. But um, yeah, man, I hope they don't rob each other of that. I hope they don't rob us of that.
Yeah.
Because that would just be a shame if that's what happens.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Um, in terms of the fight on Saturday, say Haney loses. Let's just pretend Haney loses. What does that do for the 140-pound division? Because does Regis immediately become Delfimo's target?
I think for the time being it does, and I okay. If this were boxing 20, 30 years ago, I'd be like, oh, it's just the speed bump. Like it
Yeah.
eventually it will be what we want it to be, what we just discussed.
Right.
But I feel like with today's era, with the way guys are with protecting the O, it would be this giant, like, oh, I've lost one, so why even, continue? Like, why even put in all this hard work? So, and yeah, what I would
Oh,
hope for is,
wow.
yeah, I don't know, because I feel like once guys like lose the O, like they just, I don't know, they really lose a lot of steam. But that wasn't the
Mhm.
case back then. Like they were just like, dude, you want to fight? Like next week, like let's do it. I will gladly fight you. You know.
Right.
And
Right.
even in UFC, like guys are like, dude, I've lost 5 fights. I don't care, dude. I still want to fight. I'm a fighter. But with these young guys, like again, like with the Haneys, like even what we're seeing with Ryan. Ryan's lost, and it's like, is he that? He's not that guy. Is he that guy? I don't know. So I would, like I said, I would hope that if Regis were to win, it would be a speed bump, because if Regis wins, like you said, I think he 34, 35. He does not have the gas in the tank to like have this like long reign as the guy at 140. Um, I think he would have like a solid year or two, maybe, as far as like his span of what he can um really hone in on to cash those checks or whatever. But either way, like I said, all roads eventually lead to those young guys taking up the mantle of being like this golden age, so to speak, of the 140-pound division right now. So if Regis were to win, I think he still gets a shot at Delfimo, but it'll be short lived. Because those young guys, either way, they're still going to come up. They're going to be boxing. They're going to be fighting. And so I just wish they would have that old school mentality where, like, if Haney were to lose, I don't want it to really affect him that much. And I hope he keeps fighting, because he is a talent worthy of like,
He is. Yeah.
like he owes it to himself to pursue that. You know what I mean? I think he knows it
Right.
too. But yeah, so that's what I would hope would happen if Regis were to win, because like I mean, like I said, there's too many like live dogs in that division to just not for us to not enjoy it. So,
Yeah.
and I think the promoters know that. So let's hope they can pull their heads out of their asses and make the fights happen.
What fighter do you trust the most to push these fights to happen?
Mm. I think Haney, and if not Haney, maybe Shakur if he moves up eventually. Because Haney, although we give him a hard time, like I think
I
like you mentioned
agree. It's
before, like
Haney.
he's fought Cambozos twice, he fought
Mhm.
Linares, he fought Lomachenko, And he didn't look like spectacular in all those fights. Like
but
he
he's
wasn't like
fought.
knocking them out, but he fought them. He was willing to take it up.
Yeah.
The one that I'm worried about holding it up a little bit is Teofimo, because Teofimo didn't want to give Loma a rematch. So Teofimo kind of like, I don't know, like his whole like, oh, I'm retired now, like that whole shtick. I'm like, that's so annoying, dude. Don't do that to us, like, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I think Haney is the one that I trust. Because even if he doesn't have the like a shovel big enough to put him away, he's still willing to make the fights happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I think he's the one that would be the most willing to fight because he's always the most willing to fight.
Yeah.
And so to me, I agree. He's the answer to that. He's the answer to who would be the one that does this, and who
Mm-hmm.
would we trust to push him. Teofimo, he's such an enigma, huh? Because I remember when he was coming up and everybody loved him, and he was doing what Bud Crawford is doing, calling out Canelo. That's what Teofimo was doing when he started. And you're
Yeah.
like, dude, calm, like, okay, bro.
Right. Relax. Yeah. Yeah.
But he knew how to sell himself. His dad was super annoying. And now he's not the guy that we thought he was gonna be. Like we thought he was gonna be this like super guy who's gonna fight. He was gonna be. I thought he was gonna be. Whenever Canelo's done, I thought, okay, well, the keys get given to Teofimo because he just
Yeah.
looked like he had that makeup to be the next boxing superstar.
Yeah. Like that Latino, like I can knock you out. I can box. I can do it
Yeah,
all.
and just the willingness too, the
Yeah.
willingness
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
tough to fight and to work
Yeah.
and all that. And now it's just like, well,
Yeah. That
no,
Loma victory kind of got him civilized a little bit, man. Like I don't know
yeah,
if he's hot and cold every fight. He's either really good or it's like loses to Cambosos, dang, and then he fights Sandor Martin. Do I still got it? And then he fights Taylor. He looks fantastic. So it's like, dude, which one is it? I don't know which stuff he was going to show up to the fight, and it's like it's
yeah.
frustrating. Yeah.
Um, with with Showtime leaving boxing,
Yes, that's right.
do you see any? So supposedly, the rumor is that Amazon's going to take on PBC.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if that's going to make fights easier to make now that there isn't a big network like a Showtime to hold these things up. And because now we're seeing like Wilder's going to fight on the Zone in a few weeks. So I just wonder. I wonder how that's going to change the landscape of boxing once we get to what the dust really settles and Amazon is a player.
I saw a tweet from he's one of these like boxing dudes on Twitter, on
Mm-hmm.
X.
Yeah.
Rick Laser. I'm sure you've seen the name Rick Laser.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he was talking about like the Amazon thing, and the second half of his tweet was like talking about the fighter specifically and how this change is going to affect them. And I was like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Because as far as you and I have lived, you've lived a little bit longer, but still, it's always been HBO, Showtime, and they've had that business model with the fighters. And then we saw the UFC, and the UFC is very different because it's the one organization under Dana. And the whole fighter pay thing always comes up, right? With guys like renegotiating contracts and um, you know, getting their fight deals signed and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but Rick Laser, the second half of it was let's see. So PBC Amazon announcement is supposed to happen this week. There'll be a lot of bluster in the media announcement as PBC honcho Al Heyman is attempting to keep the fighters. But then he says, but when they start negotiating for their respective fights, many will realize that there's no money. It's only a pay-per-view distribution and marketing deal and
Yeah.
will be good only for a chosen few, those that can actually sell pay-per-view buys if matched with the right dance partner. This will be a great revelation for many and definitely the start of a complete reset boxing badly needs. And he said, that's right. It's here now. And I was like, dang, we're there.
But
Assuming they like,
but what you just said is important. What you just read is important because you read that it'll be pay-per-view, according to the pay-per-view that they sell. And that's huge because someone like Benavidez, who thinks he's this super big shot, who thinks he's this super mega superstar, he sold 60,000 pay-per-views versus Boo Boo, which is awful.
yeah,
Awful. If you're a super duper star, 60,000
that's nothing. That's like, that's a joke.
Is nothing. That I think it kind of gets you to, like, I'll give, for example, but just for perspective, Canelo versus Charlo, and this was supposedly, everyone told us after the fact that he fought the bad Charlo, but Canelo versus the bad Charlo was anywhere from 650,000
Thousand.
to 700,000. That is the bad Charlo versus supposedly a Canelo on the downturn of his career. Supposedly.
Right.
So if in prime Benavidez
can't even do 100,000.
He can't get to 100. I'm excited. I think this could fix boxing because everyone, I think now guys are gonna need to have a very sober understanding of who they are.
Yeah.
Where they stand, who they really are according to the public. Because most of these guys are not as big as they think they are.
Oh, yeah.
And it's why.
Do you think it's why fights get held up because of their egos? And it's like, you're not that guy. Yeah, I agree.
But I can't believe I'm going to say this. But I think it's why Ryan Garcia will be a player and will always have an opportunity.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
because
the mob, dude, women, you know what I mean?
Like, no, and it's just, you and I love boxing, and so does Sammy, your brother. Shout out to Sammy. And Sammy loves him. Sammy loves Ryan Garcia. And Sammy's somebody whose opinion in boxing I respect because he watches. He puts in the work. We typically have the same scorecards because we'll text each other. Hey, how'd you score this fight? Like, oh man, I had it 7-5. I had it, whatever. And typically we're on the same level where I'm like, dude, I had it the same, or you know what? I gave this shot to this guy and I had it a little different. But Sammy's not the only guy that loves Ryan Garcia. And I think that is why Ryan Garcia will be a partner for any one of these guys, because to make money fighting the best guys is going to matter more and more and more. And for the 140-pound division, fighting each other is the only way that these guys are going to make the money that they want to make.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. It does. Yeah, I agree. Definitely put the pressure on for them to make this fight sooner. it looks like the days of waiting for some of these fights is like, oh, dude, if you don't
Finally.
make that fight, like you're not gonna like okay,
Yeah.
like remember, like okay, under a new system like that, it's like, bro, imagine how much sooner we would have gotten like Pacquiao Mayweather. You know what I mean? Or even
Triple G
like
Canelo.
yeah, or like Spence Crawford. Like how much sooner? Oh man.
You see, but what's interesting though is I think Pacquiao Mayweather could have done fine without each other.
Oh yeah, but again, at the same time, it's based on an era when there were plenty of guys for them to fight if they didn't
Yeah.
fight each other. And with
Right.
these new guys, they don't. I mean, like I said, they'll
Oh
fight.
yeah, yeah,
They'll
for
fight. They'll
sure,
fight.
for
They'll
sure.
fight. If we let them, they'll fight Costales for like the next 10 years, dude. If we don't demand
Yeah.
these fights, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Whereas back then, like if Pacquiao didn't want to fight Mayweather, it's like, dude, Marquez, Margarito, like De La Hoya, all these guys were there, you know.
Yeah.
And I would be glad to watch those again. Cotto, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's gonna be interesting how boxing
yeah,
moves
for sure. This is
in the
this is
next
like
2 years.
this might be some stuff you tell like your kids and grandkids about. Like if they're in a sports like this and they grow up
Mhm.
under like a system like this,
Yeah.
it's all they're gonna know is, oh, dude, we had to wait 5+ years for this fight because these guys don't want to fight each other, and now it's like, oh,
Mhm. Yeah.
oh.
Are you surprised that Benavides only sold and Boo Boo only sold 60,000 pay-per-views?
Um, a little, but then I take a step back and I think, um, I'm okay. First off, it's not like I'm gonna start with Boo Boo.
Okay.
Shout out to Boo Boo, but Boo Boo, like the whole like, oh, most avoided man in boxing. It's like, bro, no one believed that. Like that was just, and
You're
I
most
would,
avoided because you suck, not because
yeah, dude, I would
yeah.
see okay, oh my gosh, shout out to okay.
uh
So my boy Trevor, who
yeah,
he watches boxing too,
Trevor.
he trains at the UFC gym down in La Mirada, down there by Whittier, and so he has a buddy. I don't know if it's a buddy or like a sparring partner, but he was before this fight. He was saying, "Dude, Boo Boo is gonna like." He's like, Boo Boo's gonna win. Boo Boo's gonna
Yeah.
shock the world. Like Boo Boo, like he's And so he told my buddy Trevor this. Trevor told me, and I was like, "Dude, your friend's insane. I think Boo Boo's gonna get killed." Like, no, you're not about to spit on my cupcake and tell me it's frosting, bro. That's not gonna
Exactly.
happen.
Yeah.
So, and then I saw some clips of like Robert Garcia talking about Boo Boo and Sean Porter too, like about when they saw Boo Boo fight back in the day. And obviously, those guys like they know how to talk to the media. They're kind of trained for that, so they're not going to say anything explicitly like bad about Boo Boo.
Right.
But they both kind of said similar things. Where they were like, "No, Boo Boo can fight. Like Boo Boo's a good fighter." But they're like, but when it came down to it, they would all say, "Oh, but Boo Boo's style, like, it's just kind of, it just gets kind of boring. Like people just wouldn't want to watch it." And the same way he fights now is the same way he would fight back when he was in amateurs or I think like the
Always. Yeah.
Olympics.
Hmm.
And it's like that's just how he is. So okay, so boom. So Boo Boo does not have a big fan base, doesn't have a big following.
Nope.
And so
Shout out to Rhode Island.
yeah, shout out to Rhode Island. And so when they announced this fight, it's like, okay, so you're relying on Benavides to bring in the numbers because, like we said, no one really cares about watching Boo Boo fight.
Yeah.
And although Benavides is exciting, I would say he's just not there yet with the fan base and like the marketing. Like it's just kind of lackluster. He talks a good game, like when people interview him, but I don't know, like it's nowhere near like a McGregor or Mayweather or and
Well,
so
I mean, forget those guys. It's nowhere near a Shakur Stevenson. Because Shakur Stevenson could sell himself. A Tank Davis could sell himself. Agent Broner could sell himself. So
Oh yeah, yeah,
Benavidez has, I mean, very few, if any, are at the level of McGregor
yeah,
and Mayweather. But I think he needs probably more fights. Let's see, probably
yeah,
or
yeah,
needs
and
to lean
more
into
and
that
more like
Mexican thing a lot more.
yeah, and just more fights with legit fighters. Because pre Caleb Plant, like dude, it's tomato can after tomato can. Like I
Yeah.
when he fought, what's his name? Lemieux. I was like, dude, Lemieux was a guy
Oh my
Triple G fought
god.
like 10 years ago. I was like,
Yeah.
and same thing with Boo Boo. I looked at Boo Boo's record. He fought Vanis Martirosyan, I think. Did
Mm-hmm.
you remember that name? Do you remember that name?
Yeah.
That was the dude that Triple G fought when Canelo was in trouble for the clenbuterol.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Triple
Yeah.
G still wanted to fight, and he fought Vanis. And I'm like, dude, that guy was a tomato can when Triple G busted him up. And I
Yeah.
saw like, and granted, Triple G destroyed him, like knockout, like the stoppage. Boo Boo won a split decision against that guy again, like 10 plus years ago. So I'm like, dude, you're not gonna tell me that this guy's good when I see who he's fighting and how he's beating them. Like, you know what I mean? So and so with Benavidez, but credit to Benavidez, like I said, he's putting up beating Plant is a good win, and beating Boo Boo, derailing the hype, like that's a good win for him, you know. So, but yeah, just yeah, it's too early for him to be expecting those giant pay per view numbers. So
I was just surprised he couldn't get to 100.
yeah,
Which goes to show you, anybody can tweet support. Not everyone's gonna buy your fight.
right, right.
Because I know a bunch of people that are on the like my uncle. One of my uncles. I love my uncle to death, but he like doesn't like Canelo, and he
Of
like
course,
um. What's weird about my uncle though, he doesn't want to tell me who his guy is, but it's not Julio Cesar Chavez. Um, I'm trying to find out who his guy is. It's
probably
probably gonna be
Marquez.
like Marquez, probably.
Yeah, Marquez or Barrera or Morales. I mean,
Um, but he's like, oh yeah, I don't know, I think Benavides and yada yada yada. So like, I have a good amount of people in my life that like love Benavides and love him more than they do Canelo. So I was just surprised that, like, man, I think he should get. I thought it was going to be over 100,000.
I think we're in a unique sphere though, you and I, because we are Mexican, and it's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
it's so ingrained in our culture, dude. I always have to remind myself, like whenever I talk about boxing
Yeah,
outside of like my direct friend group or people that I maybe know are fans,
yeah.
like okay, I've had to explain to people like who Canelo is, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Really?
yeah." Well, I mean, granted, again, these are just average,
Yeah, yeah,
everyday
yeah.
people, like that,
Right.
like at the hotel where I play at, like there are bartenders there, and there's this bartender, this little dude. Um, Shout out to him. I don't remember his name because I call him Canelo. I think he's light skinned.
Calo Canelo.
Yeah, and he's got flaming red hair. He's about the same height. He's stocky. He's built. He's got some tattoos. So when I see him, I'm like, hey, I think his name's Anthony. I want to say he's Anthony, but Anthony.
Yeah,
Shout out to Anthony. But
yeah.
he's like, he looks like Canelo. He's got that short red hair, and so he knows who I'm talking about, right? He's a guy, and so, but there were
He's
like
Mexican or Hispanic?
no, he's white, he's the white
Oh,
dude.
he's
But
a white
but
guy.
if I mention the name, he's like, oh, I know he's a boxer, and I was like, of course, yeah. But then there'll be like other bartenders, like dudes and females, and they're like, I'm like, oh, do you guys know who Canelo is? And they're like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, like you don't. I'm like, dang, and I'm like, and in our eyes, it's like, dude, he's undisputed champ of the world, like But
Yeah.
so yeah, there's a whole big world out there of people that just don't follow boxing, or if they do know boxing, they might just know Ryan. Like they just,
Mhm.
it's very face value, surface value. So someone like Benavidez is like, oh, dude, they're not gonna know him. You know what I mean? So they might know Floyd because Floyd's been money for
Yeah. Or Pacquiao.
yeah, or Pacquiao, yeah, De La Hoya. But these young bucks coming up, it's like, oh no, they don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, at least 100,000. I would have guessed at least 100,000, like for a fight like that, where it's like,
Yeah, me too.
you know,
Especially because
both undefeated.
the the other Charlo was fighting in that one too.
Yeah. Oh, get this. Let me get your take on this because I was like, bro, you're out of your mind. Like that's I'm like I think Canelo's smarter than that.
Mhm.
So Sammy thinks that Canelo is gonna fight the other Charlo, and I'm like, bro, that'd be a huge waste of time. Like, why would he do that? That's in no way
I agree, but that has been said a lot.
that's who he's gonna fight.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I
I've
just don't
heard
see Canelo doing that to his legacy. I feel like he would get so much hate, and to be honest, it would be warranted if he were to fight him. Like if you were to fight him, I would be like, dude, like you're my hero and you're breaking my heart, bro. What are you doing?
I
Like,
I've heard that the roadmap for the PBC thing is he fights the Charlos and he fights Benavides in September. And that's how his PBC thing ends. With
as long as he
Benavides.
fights Benavides, I just want him to fight Benavides.
Yeah, but I've heard he's fighting uh
Jamal,
yeah, he's fighting Jamal
yeah. Oh,
in
dude.
May and he's fighting Benavides in September. I've heard the same rumors, so it's not. It is crazy to think because you would think Canelo would want to get the Benavides thing out of the way, but I've heard the same thing.
Pisses me off, dude. Especially after seeing how Charlo looked against Benavides Jr. I'm like, bro, how would you want that? Like, that's just,
Well,
ugh.
because you got to think Canelo has two more fights in the PVC.
Yeah, you know, I get that, and I know he's had beef with Charlo, but like,
Well,
like,
not only that, but who else is he fighting? It's Benavides, one of the two, but who's the other guy? I don't
I
think
don't
he's
know,
fighting Flanagan.
no.
Crawford?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Benavides Crawford
I don't think that fight actually takes place.
at all ever.
No,
I think there's too much money in that.
no, I don't think so.
I think that is like the boxing purist like wet dream. Like just
Is
oh,
it? Is it?
I'm telling you, bro, that Canelo hate is real, dude. They're like,
But they're not boxing purists.
oh,
I don't know. That's not a fight. That fight to me is not a fun fight
think
because
think of think of think of all the Bud fans that were vindicated after he beat the
no,
crap out
no,
of Spence.
for sure. Yes, yes, I get it. But Canelo's too big.
Oh, we know that, but they don't know that. They're thinking Bud's skills are too much.
I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, like okay, because dude, if and this is a big if Charlo had looked amazing against Junior,
Mhm.
that would still be a tough sell because I'm like, dude, you haven't fought in 3 years. You bought a blown up welterweight, and you didn't even make weight. You didn't even make weight. So, and you haven't fought a legit 168 pounder. I'm like, what are you? They're just banking on the fact that it's the name Charlo and that they've had beef, but it's like, dude, you haven't done anything to warrant any kind of like. There's no hype behind you. Like it's just for what? Why? I used to Crawford. It's like, dude, it's just like all time great versus all time great,
Mhm.
undisputed. But Crawford has amazing skills, even if he's a lot smaller. I figure
Yeah,
there's a lot more glory in fighting Crawford. History, even if he is the bigger guy.
that's what
And
we
to
say
and to
now.
cap
But
it
he
off,
fights.
Charlo looked terrible against Junior. He didn't even knock him out, dude.
I know, but Canelo fights Crawford. He beats them, and then they're like, "Well, Crawford is smaller. Canelo just was trying to cash the check." We know how this works, man.
I know, but I figure after
Come
the
on.
Benavidez, after he beats Benavidez, it's like, dude, I beat the big guy and the little guy. What's up? Like,
I can already hear all the
do
crap
you do
people are
you
gonna
think
say.
do you think so? Sammy said that Eddie is already um that he's not letting Canelo fight Bivol. Eddie Reynoso, like he's like, oh, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's playing Mickey to his Rocky, like he's yeah, like, ya lo está cuidando. He's like, he's not gonna let him fight Bivol.
And what you're asking me if I agree with that?
Yeah, do you agree? Yeah, do you think so?
It appears so.
Mm,
Um, but you and I have talked about it. Like
yeah,
what's the point of fighting Bivol? Because the Bivol fight to me is like the Niners Eagles. I'm gonna go to the grave believing that the Niners would have made last year's Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. B, that Canelo, had he taken that fight seriously,
had he been eating meat instead of going vegan?
yeah, he would have beat Bivol. And I said that we recorded a pod like a
Yeah,
few
yeah,
days
yeah,
after the
yeah.
fight, and that's what I said. Because everybody was acting like Canelo got ran through, and like, bro, it was 7-5. Like it was it was right there for if Canelo just turns it on for 3 rounds.
Wait, so hold on. So do you think at this age Canelo like his time to be Bivol's gone? Do you think that?
No, not that it's gone. I just don't see the purpose. I just
Okay, all right, okay.
like at this point, Canelo. One thing people could hate on Canelo, and but one thing you can never say that Canelo never was afraid, and Canelo dared himself to be amazing and to be
Yeah,
great. And he went up and he fought Bivol, and Bivol was the better guy that night. For whatever reason, whether Canelo took it seriously or not, doesn't matter. Bivol was the better fighter. Bivol beat him. And at this point in his career, I think Canelo should. I would much rather him chase the Crawford fight and go for legacy and go for things like that than for him to avenge this thing that doesn't really need avenging. Bivol hasn't fought anybody or done anything significant since the Canelo fight. Bivol, I mean, he's Russian, so he's dealing with all that stuff from the
right.
Ukraine-Russia war. Um,
When do you think Canelo retires? Do you think it's coming soon?
you know, we last year I would have said 3 years, 2 years. He looks motivated, man. He looks like he's back to the no boxing, no life type of
Yeah,
deal.
good, good.
It looks like he's kind of took a took a rest on letting us see how much he loves golf. Like, all right, bro, we get it. Like, you're a rich guy and you could play golf during the day. Got it. Um, I think he can go. I don't know, maybe 3-4 years. The problem is who is he fighting? Because I think that's why. That's what's that to me. My fear is that Canelo wants to keep fighting. There's nobody really for him to fight, so he begins to do things that are very dangerous for his well-being. Because remember, he fights Bivol, and remember the conversation that was had, and you and I had talked about this. That people were saying if Canelo beats Bivol, would he go up to cruiserweight to fight Usyk? And we're like, whoa, dude, like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, for sure. Yeah.
calm down. And I think that's my fear. That Canelo beats Benavidez, he beats Crawford, and then he looks around and says, well, Who else? Okay, I'll go up and fight Bivol. Okay, I'll
You,
go
you
up.
don't you don't think if Bivol beats up Beterbiev, that's a nice fight, the rematch.
No, no, the rematch will always be nice. I just for what?
But I mean, as far as like you said, like what it would do for him, because like right now the assumption is that like Bivol hasn't fought, he hasn't done much since, right? But I mean, like, what if? I mean, it's a big if, but let's say Bivol becomes undisputed at light heavyweight. I'm like, dude, that bro, Canelo undisputed at light heavyweight. Like, oh, all he has to do is beat Bivol. Like, I like that. I like those chances.
Yeah,
And it is dangerous. So if he loses, it's like, well, dude, you were fighting, like Godzilla type fighters. You know what I mean? So
I guess I just come back to like for what, you know?
for history and to avenge a loss,
Yeah, I
history
guess.
and glory. I'd rather see that than him going after like we could see a Canelo where he goes after tomato cans. Like, bro, what if he decides to fight? Like, okay, let's say he beats Benavidez, he beats Crawford or the other Charlo or whoever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Canelo versus Berlanga. No way. Or like Canelo versus like Diego Pacheco, 168. Like, it's like, bro, who are the what? I don't want to see that.
Uh, that's
Maybe
why I
one of
think
those
he.
fights in between a big fight, but
That's probably why he retires.
yeah. Those are the fights that scare me and keep me up, and I'm like, oh, Canelo, don't fight those guys. It's just sad.
The much anticipated Canelo versus Boo Boo.
Or like, ooh, Canelo versus Morel. Everyone like this guy doesn't even have 10 fights yet, and people are really saying, oh, Canelo's scared of Morel. I'm like, oh no, please stop. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Munguia fight. I don't need it, but I mean, like with Canelo, what if Munguia looks amazing against Ryder? I'd watch it.
You'd watch it?
Yeah,
Yeah, the Mungia one would be good.
just a great night for for Mexican boxing. What if Munguia after that fight, after getting schooled by Canelo, kind of starts his own like path of like remember like when like Canelo got schooled by Mayweather, it's like, oh, he might impart some wisdom on him. And then Canelo retires, boom, off into the sunset. I need someone to take up that mantle when Canelo's gone. Who's it going to be? I need to know. I need to know.
I mean, it's probably going to be one of the 140 guys, one of the dudes at 140.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going to be. Who do you think would take up that mantle?
Shakur, I think Shakur's got like a frame and the skills
Mm-hmm.
to be like that.
Yeah.
He needs to calm down. He needs to get humbled a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking a little too much for my liking.
I don't mind it because he's trying to sell himself.
Yeah, but then when you deliver the fights like the last one you did, it's like, oh, come on, man. Like, just like we said last time, like, bro, just tell me your hands hurt. I'll be fine with it. I'm cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Also, him, like, I don't know, him hanging out with like Ward and Bud, and like I don't know, like I feel like they're chasing what Mayweather used to be when he was money, but it's when he was money, but it's like just let him do his thing. Let him.
Let him do his thing.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
see? Did I send you that clip of Ocho Cinco with Ward and Crawford and Shakur. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, because you know, like the Ocho Cinco's like into boxing now, and he trains a little bit. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so prior to Shakur's fight, like they were all hanging out, and
Mm-hmm.
so Ward was talking to Ocho Cinco's there, Ward, Crawford, and Shakur, and Ward is talking to Bud, and he's pointing at Ocho Cinco, and he's like, dude, he's like, no, you don't get it. He's like, he wants to spar with you, but he actually wants to fight me, like fight me, either an exhibition or whatever.
He wants to
And
fight Ward.
Ocho Cinco wants to fight Ward because Ocho Cinco's crazy, and he's joking obviously, but it's like he jokes around a little too much, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And so Ward's like, yeah, dude, he wants to fight me. He's like, but obviously Ward is like, dude, I would hurt you. Like, what are you talking about? Um, and then Ward's like, also, I thought you were a lot bigger. I thought you were like taller, you know. And Ocho Cinco's like, nah, I've always been small, but he points at his chest, his heart. He's like, but this is big right here. It's always been big, my heart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're just like messing around, and it's like, dude, like, just it's just so funny watching like those legends together, and then also because, dude, do you follow Ocho Cinco on Twitter or anything? Like,
He's hilarious.
he's so dude. Him and Unk Shannon Sharp
Oh
on
my
the
god,
nightcap.
they're
I
popping.
love,
Oh my god,
dude.
it's amazing.
It's the best, dude.
Yeah,
It I have all their humor without all the like corporate buzz of like Skip Bayless and like Stephen A. You know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just straight to the tomfoolery and their opinions because those two are so funny. You know,
Right.
like so. But yeah, it's so fun. I'll send it to you. It's so funny, and you hear Bud laugh in the clip, and it's like, dude, like I've never heard Bud laugh like that. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's such a great podcast right there. Those two
Yeah.
together. Um, yeah, it's probably Shakur just because he has a personality and the skills, obviously. But do you think Canelo gets as big as he's gotten if he doesn't learn English? Because I feel like
No, I don't
he's
think so.
he's
That's a
jumped the level of popularity since he started embracing.
that's such a strategic move, dude. Like
Yeah.
that is look at it this way. If like this dude was in Creed 3 for a
Mhm.
split second, but he was in
Yeah.
Creed 3. That
Right.
is that he's jumping borders and generations. Let's look at Chavez. If Chavez was on that the way Canelo is, bro, why didn't I see Chavez in like Rocky 4 or anything? Like
Mhm.
that's just easy marketing. Look at all those fans, dude, you know?
Mhm.
So, yeah, dude, cuz we've seen it. We've seen okay, if we were to go to strangers on the street,
Mhm.
um bro, they're not going to know who Marquez is or Barrera or Morales like they, you know.
Right.
So, and I mean you kind of see it like you kind of see it like okay, like even here like in California, right? Dude, how many people do you know? And not this is not to take a shot at them, but how many people do you know that like have come here from Mexico and like they don't learn a whole bunch of English and they get by, like they survive, you know, they do the
Mhm.
thing. Like I
Yeah.
have tias like that, they can't speak a word of English, you know, but
Right.
they've been here. So I feel like Mexicans like something we like to just keep to ourselves in that regard.
Yeah.
Um, and like because it's hard to learn a new language and everything. So I
Mhm.
think Canelo he realized like, dude, like that's if I could speak more English and do interviews on my own in English, like we
Yeah.
saw him on the Breakfast Club, dude. I never thought I would have seen him
That's
on the Breakfast
crazy.
Club. That's
Yeah.
insane because I watched the Breakfast Club for years for for
Mhm.
rappers or actors, whoever
Right.
Um, but when I saw Canelo on there, I was like, dang, dude, this guy is making the moves, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. Watch. I bet one day, dude, he might do he might do like Rogan or something in the years to come.
Imagine that'd be amazing.
Yeah, dude. And I think I can already see it. Um, Joe Rogan, Canelo, and is it Joey Diaz? You know who Joey Diaz is?
Joey Diaz?
Because he speaks Spanish. He speaks Spanish.
I know, but Joey Diaz would like that would be the pair that
we didn't know we needed, but we needed it. Like, you know,
yeah,
like
that would be such a weird
yeah.
that'd be
They'd be
so
that
weird.
they'd be that group in class that got put together for a project and they're all from like different cliques, but they would have made it work. They would have been like, oh, they're good together. Like, you know.
I'd like to just see Canelo like just his reactions
To listen to what
to
Joey
Joey
Diaz
Diaz.
says.
Like, what the hell's wrong with
He's like,
this
bro,
guy? Just like, man, like está loco.
I know. Dude, yeah.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious just to see that.
I think it's in the future for Canelo.
I hope
Either with
so.
Joey Diaz or with some other kind of like
With
maybe like a
Joey
translator
Diaz.
who's there. Because when he was on the Breakfast Club, he had one of the other boxing guys on there with him. He was kind of off
Yeah,
to the side a little bit, but
one of the dudes on the zone.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who I didn't even know spoke a little Spanish, but he does. So
yeah, he's like Dominican or something like that.
yeah. So I'm manifesting that. I'm putting that
Yeah,
like
or
God,
maybe
you
it's
got me. Make that happen.
or maybe it's us. Maybe we
Dude,
explode on the
bro,
podcasting
we'll tweet
scene,
him. Yeah, dude. Be like,
and it's like Joe Rogan, you, me, and Canelo, and we're
dude,
just like they're chopping
I
it up.
wish, bro. Oh my gosh.
Put that out in the ether. Come on, believe in us, David.
Let
God.
put me in, coach. Come on.
Yeah, but I think that was whenever I think of the future of boxing, in the future, it's always been like that. There's always been the guy who carries, um, and I don't know. Hopefully it's somebody as great as Canelo, because I
Yeah.
think we're definitely we were fortunate that growing up
Dude,
there
we're
was
like spoiled and we didn't even know it. Like all the
yeah
haters, like all the deals and stuff. Like I'm like, you guys suck, dude. You guys are not appreciating this. You know,
yeah yeah.
for
So
sure.
it's just crazy. Anything else? Anything else we missed?
I don't think so.
Were you outraged about the college football playoff seating?
No, I see it. I mean, dude, you know how many times we've seen some of these like smaller big schools get in? Like shout out to um
TCU?
TCU got smoked. I remember one and they were undefeated, but like back in the day, Notre Dame versus
Notre
Alabama in the
Dame.
national championship, that was ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I know it sucks, obviously, it's terrible, but if your star quarterback gets hurt and you struggle the last couple of games, and it's like, dude, what do you think Georgia or Alabama will do to you, bro? Like, you know, so
Yeah.
but I am of the mindset that like, dude, because are they going to make it 12 teams next year
They
or
are.
the year?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that should be the way it goes. Because then you can give a bunch of teams that are in that situation where like you don't know if they can get hot or not. Like they'll get the shot to make it happen, you know. So
I I hate that they're going to 12 because it just what's the point of the regular season then?
are they doing? I don't know all the details, but like, are there 12 regular season games now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy. Remember,
there's 11 plus the conference championship, which that one becomes even pointless because like if there
right?
was
You can
12,
win your conference championship and like not get in. Like,
when there's 12, they're gonna like Alabama and Georgia next year, regardless of who loses, both teams are probably getting into the 12 team playoffs. So why?
see, I'm cool with that though. That makes it
But what
a
was the
little bit
point? But what's the
a
point of
little
that
bit kind
game?
of like that makes it a little bit kind of like high school a little bit.
I guess.
Like because like here, I mean, at least back in the day, I don't know. It's kind of weird now with like CIF with high school football, but
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, like if you were in the same league, kind of like same conference, you could win your league and go undefeated, and then you go to the playoffs, and you might run into one of your league teams in, kind of like the NFL. Like you could run into, whoever was hot. And so
I know, but
it could be cool if like Alabama and Georgia, like say they're put on like on opposite sides of the bracket and they happen to win their way, because you got to think if some of these teams are good enough, like in a 12-man setting, it's like, dude, Florida State does get a shot. You know what I mean? Washington does get a shot. Oregon does get a shot. Yeah. And those teams, I think they're all worthy of being given a shot and see if they can get hot and make it happen.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't like that. Like, it makes it tough with college because there's like, there's still so many teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with high school, they're doing like they do CIF and then now they're doing like state championships after that. And so teams are playing like 14, 15 games. And it's like, dude, what? Like, so it's a lot.
Yeah.
People were saying that now that it's going to be 12, they're going to be, what about like the 13th or the 14th team that didn't make it? We should expand it to like 16. It's like, oh, dude, it's never going to end.
Eventually, the top 25 teams are going to make it.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully Michigan wins the title. Hopefully that's what happens.
You're going for Michigan?
Michigan.
Oh, Alabama, baby. Come
Let's
on
go
now.
Michigan. And congratulations on Sunday. Patriots lost, so they're getting closer to one of the top picks in the draft. Congratulations to you.
That's
man. Worst of luck to you tomorrow, I guess. Or best of, I don't know.
Hopefully you guys let's not talk about that right now, bro. I just
I'm just trying to round up the pod. We did our boxing. I'm trying to tie in the whatever loose ends.
You bring me up, you gotta bring me down. Then you gotta like, come on, man.
Look, you have nothing but ill feelings towards me and my Niners. So I'll tell you what. I'm returning the energy. That's all I'm doing.
Good. And to be fair, I like, because you said you're like, I have not enjoyed a Niners Super Bowl like since you like.
I have. You've enjoyed 6.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm good. I'm the equivalent of like, like when an old person passes away, and they're like,
he lived a good life.
People are sad. Oh, he lived a good. Like I've lived a good NFL life. Yeah. I've lived like so yeah, I'm cool with it. But it's just sad. But hey, I root for the Lions.
I root for the Lions.
Hey, I like their coach. I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, Dan Campbell's pretty good.
He and the Raiders coach, the new coach.
Yeah,
like those dudes are cut from the same cloth. Like, bro, like give me some pads and a helmet, and I will move mountains for those guys, bro. They just have that. They have that same energy. You want to fight for them,
Yeah. What about Kyle Shanahan? Kyle Shanahan is amazing.
I haven't seen him give off that kind of energy. He is a good coach, but like I don't know, like that, like it's that old school rah. You really want to buy in and believe him because he believes in you.
It's like I saw
this. Yeah, I saw this thing where like with Dan Campbell, like when he first joined the Lions, in his speech he was like, "This team is going to take on the spirit of the city because the city has been down." But they find a way to get it. And I was like, damn, I was reading it and I was like, bro, I want to play. I was like,
well, he did this whole thing on like, you may beat us, you may knock us down,
but we'll come back.
But we're going to get up, and on our way up, we're going to claw, we're going to eat your kneecap. And you're like,
dude, I'm telling you,
okay, Leonidas.
I'm getting like the goosebumps right now, bro. I'm telling you, like
maybe we should stop the pod right here. You're gonna run through your wall, and
I'm gonna rip off my door, like off
your
the
dad's
hinges.
your dad's gonna charge me for the drywall.
He's gonna be like, can I send you the bill? Like,
yeah,
dude. Yeah,
man. But football's fun, and it's been a fun season, both college and the.
Yeah,
and sure. The NFL. And I will do much more gloating on the Niners and Eagles.
Do it.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else. We were the better team. We proved it.
Yeah, of course.
I think Debo just scored another touchdown as we were recording.
Debo.
You know, we are who who I thought we were. You know, and that's
And you didn't let him off the hook. You know, like
yeah. So we're on to
Who just?
Seattle now,
Yeah, Seattle.
and hopefully the
Shout out to
Cowboys.
Seattle. Let's get it going, guys. Come on.
Hopefully, hopefully the Cowboys are able to do us a solid and get us the number one seed.
Dang.
But yeah, it was a great game. It was a good game. I was telling you how my little brother was all bummed out because the Niners were losing 6-0 at the end of one, and I was like, bro, this is like where do you want to be right now?
Yeah, like we're in the pocket. We're chilling.
But yeah, we got to move on. Fred Warner today was like, we're moving on to Seattle. We gotta, and I was like, yeah, exactly. Like Philly was Sunday. You guys are still celebrating that? Come on.
Dude,
Let's keep
I'm still mourning that, dude. Come on, man.
You and the Kelseys are still talking about
it. Bro, and T Swift.
Oh man. But I think my favorite part of that, of like how it ended, was when DeAndre Swift just got destroyed by the war. Oh, that was beautiful. Because it was like a clean hit. It probably was a catch and a fumble, but we'll let it slide. But God, I was like, wow, what a perfect way to
end. Like,
yeah. And obviously it's been on every 49er TikTok, just that hit and everything.
Dude, you are basking in it. Dude, your mouth is saying we're on to Seattle, but like your heart is. I know you, Germ. I know.
Look, it was. I've suffered.
You've suffered a lot. I know.
What was it? 2 Super Bowl losses. I think like 3-4 NFC Championship game losses. And I think this one. And
prior to that, it was worse, man. I remember some dark days. Like shout out to Mike Singletary.
Oh my God.
You know, like you know, like my hat's off to you, bro, because everyone forgets about that era of Niners.
Yeah,
like, there's an era where it was like what the Raiders have been for the forever. Like the Niners were bad. It was sad.
Yeah. But I think the reason why I took the Eagles one was so frustrating was because of how it happened.
Yeah, because Purdy got hurt. Yeah.
Well, not only but the backup got hurt. Like we legit had no quarterback. Like halfway through that game, it was Christian McCaffrey getting snaps. So I think that's why that one was so frustrating, because it just didn't feel like we had a shot.
Yeah.
We didn't get a fair chance to really compete in that game.
Yeah.
And winning Sunday obviously doesn't get us back to the Super Bowl, but it does kind of, like, you see, like, we could expose you guys.
Yeah.
The Eagles up until the Eagles had won. They were not playing great, but they had won. And I kept telling, like, my friends, I just was like, I was telling my little brother, I was like, dude, like, we match up really well against them. Like, I'm not afraid of these guys. We can play with them. And so it was just like nice to see it. I was hoping to see all the Eagle fans on Twitter, nowhere to be found. I think Ivan finally resurfaced talking about Mike Evans or something like that. So shout out to Ivan for that. I was hoping he would do like some fantasy breakout on Deebo Samuel, but he probably hasn't seen it yet.
He's hurting. He's hurting.
Probably hasn't gotten back. I called Adrian on Sunday night because I hadn't heard from him, and I FaceTimed him, and I just had a big old smile, like, "Hey man, what's going on? How are you?"
Adrian's been through it, bro. The Eagles, then Colorado, like
Colorado. Oh my God.
Dude, I saw a tweet where they were like, remember those couple weeks when we were all Colorado fans? Like, what a time to be alive. And I'm like, Bro, people were in it, bro. They were like, "Oh my god!"
So shout out to Eagle fans. Stay classy, and hopefully you guys lose to the Cowboys. And hopefully we see them again, because that was that those are the games you want to compete in, because chances are to get a Super Bowl we're gonna have to play them again. So
yeah, dang,
just fun times. But Seattle could definitely ruin my mood if they beat us on Sunday.
I'm banking on it.
Yikes, man.
Jerk, I love you, bro, but oh my gosh.
Oh man. But I think that's it. I think that's it for the pod. I think that's all we have for people. Boxing, football, and hopefully all this hopefully the 140-pound is as fun as we think it can be. Hopefully the Haney Regis fight's a good one. When do you think Canelo Benavidez gets announced? January, maybe?
I hope
February, March.
I want it in May. I mean, there's a possibility we might get it in September, but I want it in May, man. I want it now. Like,
yeah, because I was being asked when does he announce it? I'm like, well, if it's not till May, Canelo doesn't typically announce this.
Like late January, probably early February, maybe.
Yeah, like this is probably the stuff he announces like Super Bowl week or something like that.
Yeah.
So it'll be a while, but I think he fights. My final prediction: I think he fights Benavidez in May. Canelo gives people what they want, and everybody.
I agree.
To fight Benavidez. I think that's who we get. So yeah, David, thank you for joining me. This was fun as always. We'll talk soon. And for everybody else, thank you for listening to the Arrows Up podcast. We'll have another pod coming up this week. I think Harry is gonna put his kids down for a little bit and talk.
Dang, he's back.
He's risen. So. I think so. All the uploads of the pods and all the tweets, he's been sending me some DMs, and I'm just like, bro, put your kid down for like 30 minutes and talk to me, bro.
Yeah, so, please.
Hopefully that happens. He's on Shohei Ohtani watch.
Oh yeah.
He wants him on the Dodgers. So hopefully that's coming up this week. So stay tuned for that. But thank you for listening. Subscribe. Until next time, that was a podcast. This is Jeremy.